Never folded, never told, never will.
50 Cent didn't just throw shade. He installed solar panels on BMF's roof and started charging Lil Meech for electricity. When it comes to spotting financial mismanagement, 50 Cent has always been the kind of guy who could smell a missing dollar bill from 3 blocks away. Before anyone else even noticed, 50 was already side-eyeing BMF like an IRS agent on Red Bull. He wasn't whispering either. Nah, he got on IG, flexed his petty muscles.
February 13th, the Big Meech home benefit concert. It's gonna be iconic. Too many names to list, but let me salute some of the legends.
And let the world know Lil Meech was moving funny with the money. And let's be real, when 50 Cent calls you broke, that's not just an insult, that's a financial obituary. If you're loving the tea, don't forget to like, drop a comment, and hit that subscribe button like it owes you money.
What up, though? Boss of all bosses. And today I'm coming to tell all my supporters, if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, whatever you got, you trying to make it go up.
Fans didn't want to believe it at first. The son of the legendary Big Meech, the face of the BMF legacy, the chosen one for the TV series. Surely he wasn't out here blowing cash like a SoundCloud rapper with his first advance check, right? Wrong.
Lil Baby, Boss Man D-Lo, 21 Savage, Sexy Red, Ricky Rose. Now, this the first time it's ever been done.
50 pulled receipts, shady comments, and enough innuendo to make everyone start asking the uncomfortable questions. Suddenly, the BMF empire wasn't just about loyalty, honor, and hustler prestige. It was looking like a messy group project where one kid forgot to do their part, and that kid's name was Lil Meech. The drama hit differently because 50's no stranger to calling out scams, snakes, or sloppy bookkeeping.
Bad guy out of all of this.
Who's the bad guy? I don't think there's a bad guy.
No, yes it is. Yeah, Vlad, let's talk about it.
I think Meech is the one that made a mistake.
No.
No? You think 50?
No.
Lil Meech?
No.
Who am I forgetting now?
Rick Ross knew perfectly damn well.
Remember, this is the man who once filed bankruptcy just to dodge paying people he didn't like, then came back flexing like it was just another Tuesday. So when he said BMF's money wasn't right, people listened. He painted a picture of Lil Meech moving suspiciously, like the kid who swears he didn't eat the cookies but has crumbs all over his face. It wasn't just about the dollars, it was about the principle. In the street world, money management equals respect, and respect equals power. If you're fumbling the bag, you're fumbling the throne. And here's where it gets spicy. Over time, 50's warnings started aging like fine wine. Every time a new scandal popped up, pill rumors, reckless spending, questionable business moves, fans circled back to 50's original call-out.
Grown men, and I'm gonna tell you, man, like, I don't follow a lot of it, but when I look at it, oh, I enjoy it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Obviously, Rick Ross wasn't having it, so he put something about 50 Cent's masters.
50, who own your masters? Who own your masters? I buy your masters.
Really?
You better shut up.
I'll buy you. Hey, man.
Buy your masters.
You said really? Like what?
I'm like, can you afford
Rick
to buy
Ross
his
got
masters?
long money.
Yeah? I didn't know it was that long.
Google. And I don't do the net worth thing, but Google his net worth.
Is he able to buy 50 Cent's masters if he really wanted to?
I think 50.
Damn, 50 tried to warn us. Became the new chorus in the comment sections. He wasn't just trolling for likes. He was laying down the prophecy like a hip-hop Nostradamus with Wi-Fi. Wout. At the end of the day, 50 positioned himself as the ultimate I told you so kingpin. While Lil Meech tried to play the role of heir to the empire, 50 made him look more like a trust fund kid who blew the family fortune on sneakers and rented Lambos.
I can't believe a stand-up dude doing his time would suddenly say, I don't want to be here no more. I'm gonna become a rat.
Savage, absolutely accurate. The streets seemed to think so. Lil Meech said ride or die, then called Uber for his friend when the cops showed up. When 50 Cent dropped the body cam footage, it wasn't just a post, it was a nuclear bomb disguised as Instagram content. The clip allegedly showed Lil Meech folding like a lawn chair during a traffic stop, pointing fingers so fast the cops probably needed Gatorade breaks just to keep up. Instead of embodying the legendary death before dishonor code BMF preached, Meech allegedly flipped the script and threw his homie under the bus so hard the Greyhound logo should have been on the screen. The streets erupted instantly. Snitch. Fraud. Your daddy would never. the internet was roasting Lil Meech like a Thanksgiving turkey that came out too early. And of course, 50 Cent was right there fanning the flames, reposting the clip with the kind of smug satisfaction only he can deliver. This wasn't just petty trolling anymore. This was 50 orchestrating a public trial with Instagram as the courtroom and comment sections as the jury. Here's the kicker. Lil Meech didn't say a word. Silence. No rebuttal. No, that's out of context. Not even a half-hearted Notes app apology. And in hip-hop, silence isn't golden, it's suspicious. Fans started asking themselves, if he didn't snitch, why not just clap back? That silence made the footage look less like a misunderstanding and more like Exhibit A in the case of Meech versus the streets. And let's be real, the optics were disastrous. His pops, Big Meech, built an empire on loyalty, secrecy, and never breaking under pressure. Lil Meech, meanwhile, was now branded as the guy who allegedly cracked the minute blue lights hit the rear view. It's like watching the son of a heavyweight champ get knocked out in the first round by the referee. Brutal, embarrassing, and completely off script. 50, of course, spun the knife deeper. He framed the footage as proof that everything he'd been warning fans about was true. The new BMF wasn't the same as the old BMF, and loyalty had become optional. The body cam didn't just expose Meech, it exposed the brand. Suddenly, the legacy Big Meech built wasn't glowing with street honor, it was being questioned by memes, Twitter threads, and Instagram comedians, eating this drama alive. Big Meech, linking with Rick Ross, was like Batman teaming up with the Joker. The streets still haven't recovered from the plot twist. When 50 Cent accused Big Meech himself of being a rat, the internet didn't just pause. It froze like a Netflix buffer wheel. Up until that moment, the feud was mostly aimed at Lil Meech, the spoiled heir, the reckless spender, the alleged snitch in training. But when Big Meech linked up with Rick Ross 50's sworn nemesis, the man he's been verbally body slamming since flip phones were a thing, the entire dynamic shifted. It wasn't just family drama anymore, it was a full-blown betrayal saga straight out of a Shakespeare play, except with more Maybach music drops. To understand how disrespectful this move was, you have to know the history. 50 and Rick Ross have beef so deep, you could build an Olympic pool out of it. This isn't rap squabble beef. This is scorched earth, I'll clown your baby mama, your job history, and your entire existence beef. So when Big Meech popped up showing love to Ross, 50 didn't see it as just business. He saw it as Meech choosing the enemy camp, breaking the unwritten code of war. The word rat wasn't thrown casually either. 50 doesn't use that term like it's seasoning. He knows the weight it carries in street culture, especially when tied to a name like Big Meech, who spent decades upholding the image of loyalty and silence. By painting him with that brush, even hypothetically, 50 was detonating a credibility bomb under the BMF legacy, and the streets ate it up. If the king himself could be questioned, what does that say about the whole empire? People asked. Suddenly, the whispers weren't about Lil Meech anymore. They were about the patriarch. What made it nastier? 50 framed himself as the betrayed son, the loyal soldier who got backstabbed by the very man whose family name he'd been keeping alive with the BMF TV show. It wasn't just a diss, it was emotional warfare. Fans weren't just debating loyalty, they were debating history. Could Big Meech really be cozying up to a man 50 had sworn eternal war against? And if so, well, what was the price tag? The real twist? By accusing Big Meech of betrayal, 50 wasn't just taking shots at a man behind bars. He was rewriting the BMF mythology, shaking the foundation of a brand that was supposed to represent unbreakable loyalty. Suddenly, the motto wasn't death before dishonor, it was collabs before code. And nothing gets more savage than that. Lil Meech didn't just get put on by 50 Cent, he basically got the rap game's version of FAFSA, and Fif was the loan officer with receipts. When 50 Cent claimed he bankrolled Lil Meech's acting career, the story took a soap opera turn. Suddenly, this wasn't about beef, betrayal, or street codes, it was about unpaid tuition. Fif painted the picture like he was a proud but petty dad, footing the bill for acting classes, coaching sessions, and even mentoring Meech himself in the early days of the BMF series. Basically, 50 said he turned Lil Meech from Big Meech's son into a star on his own merit. And then, just like every sitcom father, he claimed the kid grew up, caught an attitude, and forgot who paid the bills. Let's be clear, in Hollywood, talent gets you halfway, but someone has to open the doors. According to 50, he didn't just open the door, he built the house, painted it, and then handed Meech the keys. He spun the narrative that without him, Meech would have been another rich kid blowing money on iced-out watches and designer sneakers, not a rising actor with his face plastered on billboards. And the way 50 tells it, that mentorship came with loyalty clauses. Loyalty Meech allegedly forgot about the minute he started moving on his own. Fans had a field day with this revelation. One side was clowning Meech for needing acting lessons like a college freshman cramming for finals. The other side questioned why 50 kept receipts like a scorned ex. But if you know 50, you know that's his whole brand. Nothing is ever forgotten, nothing is ever forgiven. If he bought you lunch in 2004, best believe you'll hear about it in 2025. What made this point hit harder is the way 50 framed it. Not as charity, but as an investment. He essentially implied, I built you into a star so I could build BMF into a franchise, and now you're trying to ghost me? Nah, son. That's not just trolling, that's a declaration of ownership. And in the entertainment industry, being labeled somebody's creation is almost as damaging as being called a snitch. The twist? Instead of keeping it all business, 50 wrapped the whole story in father-son drama. He positioned himself as the real guiding hand in Lil Meech's life, while painting Big Meech as absent. It wasn't just about money, it was about emotional control. And when 50 Cent starts playing daddy, you know the roast is only getting started. 50 Cent didn't just send Lil Meech to rehab, he probably drove the van, filled out the intake papers, and live-streamed the intervention for clout. When 50 Cent claimed he was the one who got Lil Meech into rehab, the feud stopped being petty Instagram trolling and morphed into something that felt like an episode of Celebrity Intervention, G-Unit edition. According to Fifth, Meech wasn't just dabbling in a little Hollywood wilding, he was spiraling. Pills, reckless spending, wild behavior, the whole VH1 behind the music starter pack. And while most people would keep that private, 50? Nah. He dragged it into the open, wrapped it in sarcasm, and served it to the internet like a Sunday dinner. Here's the kicker. 50 didn't frame it as an act of kindness. He didn't say, I wanted to save the kid. He basically said, look, I had to save this boy from himself because nobody else was stepping up. Translation, I'm the father figure, the manager, the rehab plug, and the babysitter all rolled into one. And of course, he made sure the world knew about it, because in 50's world, good deeds don't count unless you weaponize them later. Fans ran with the story, painting Meech as a trust fund kid who couldn't handle the pressure of carrying BMF's legacy. Memes were flying. Clips of rehab TV shows with Meech's face photoshopped in, fake "Do you know who my daddy is?" skits, and even jokes about how 50 probably charged him rent for the rehab bed. The internet has no mercy, and with 50 leading the orchestra, it turned into a viral roast session. What made it even nastier is how it tied into the bigger narrative. Rehab wasn't just about drugs, it was about control. If 50 was the one who intervened, it put Big Meech in the shadows again. Fifth was basically saying, I'm the only one trying to keep your son alive and sane while you're in prison writing letters. That's not just shade, that's a full eclipse. The suspense in this feud lives in the contradictions. On one hand, 50 looked like the hero swooping in to save a young man from self-destruction. On the other, he looked like the petty villain using someone's darkest struggles as ammo for a social media chess game. Either way, he made sure Lil Meech's alleged rehab stint wasn't a secret shame, it was a headline. And the lesson? In the world of 50 Cent, even your lowest points aren't off limits. They're just another post, another punchline, another weapon. Rehab wasn't just a chapter in Meech's life, it was another chess move on 50's board. Lil Meech tried to turn an airport gun arrest into a VIP lounge upgrade, and 50 Cent turned it into meme season. The memes hit like uppercuts. Rainey Jr. basically implied that Meech couldn't even handle a simple airport arrest without looking soft. Coming from Tariq, a character who shot his own dad on TV and never folded under pressure, that shade was biblical. Fans instantly started comparing the two. Tariq, the cold, calculated hustler in training versus Lil Meech, the panicked celebrity allegedly fumbling at TSA. It wasn't just funny, it was humiliating. Lil Meech, meanwhile, played right into it by staying silent. No clapbacks, no rebuttals, nothing. And in the game of chess, silence is checkmate. 50 filled the void with his own version of events, and once the public bought in, Meech's truth didn't even matter. Bottom line, this wasn't beef, this was brand warfare. 50 didn't just drag Lil Meech, he rebranded him as a cautionary tale. And in doing so, he reminded everyone that when Curtis Jackson plays chess, he's not after pawns, he's after kings.